Hey legends, coming to you from the best views in Manly. Brilliant rooftop views up here. Today I want to discuss the housing crisis a little bit, just in terms of the solutions they're trying to give us, which they always go on about it's a supply side issue. I mean, it becomes embarrassing that they keep saying it's a supply side issue. You can tell they're reading it off cards. Someone has told them that. Both major parties continue to parrot this out. It's so much so that it's become obvious to anyone who's been paying attention that probably the biggest lever behind this is not the supply side, it's the demand side. And why is the demand so high? Because after COVID, we've let in how many million people into the country? I mean, the floodgates have literally been opened, and before COVID they were for about a decade as well, far too high anyway, but since COVID it's just been ridiculous. The floodgates have opened, and what happens when you get too many people and there's not enough houses? Well, first of all, the rent prices go through the roof. So these students who come from all around the world, it's not their fault, it's our government's fault, who are handing out student visas willy-nilly. They think it's such a great economic opportunity for their higher education and universities to sell off university degrees that are just getting so devalued in their value by the way they're flogging them off. But anyway, when these students come, they need somewhere to live, right? And they need to live fairly close to the universities. They haven't got cars and things, and they're not familiar with the systems. So they get a cheap motorbike to hire, and they live in a house with 15 other people, and they are paying big bucks for these rooms. So I feel sorry for these students because they're getting totally ripped off by this dream life in Australia, this wonderful opportunity that the government and universities are selling them, and English-speaking colleges and all that sort of thing. And then when they arrive, they're shacked up with 15 other people, and they're paying $300 a week for a bedroom, and they're probably sharing it with someone else. And they're scrounging around, driving Uber, getting any bit of money they can, and the government says you can only work 24 hours a week, and then there's hardly any jobs that they can do, so they'll do cleaning or any little job they can get. It's not an easy life for these people. But what it is it's demand on the housing system, right? And so there's more and more people getting flooded into the country, and there's not more houses in the city, is there? So these people have to pay huge rents for not much. They're getting a bedroom with someone else, with 15 other people. 4 people share a bathroom, they all share the kitchen, and then they've got to scrounge around to pay for these things. So the government should be embarrassed of themselves. And so what happens when the rental prices go up? Of course, the costs, the house values go up, and it starts in the inner city and it pushes out to the suburbs and into the regions. So this rental increases by demand, which is constant, with students coming in and the people from, the refugees or what have you, and then the government helps them pay for the rent as well. So the rental demand is increasing while the house supply is already, obviously, as the government keeps parroting, is already not meeting the need anyway. But the problem is on the demand side with the immigration, the mass immigration that has gone out of control. So why don't we hear the government talking about that? They just want to talk about the supply side. Have you noticed? A conversation the government is avoiding like the plague at the moment is immigration. The only reason they're having it, I think, is obviously maybe they're answering to their New World Order, World Economic Forum masters. And the other thing is they're just scared of their economic figures dropping to have any sign of recession, because that kills them at the ballot box. And so they just love to go to the media and say, look, we've got a GDP growth this year, this quarter, and so aren't we doing well? When all they're doing is shoving in new immigrants that buy more food, that pay more rent, and that makes it look like there's more economic activity in the market. But it's a false economy, really. We're not developing new jobs in manufacturing or IT or technology or mining, construction. We're not bringing in those types of people, and we're not growing the GDP in that more sustainable and nation wealth increasing manner. So just watch out for it. The government avoids discussing about immigration like the plague. They are scared of it. The big corporates, they want more and more people to buy their products, to fly in aeroplanes, to eat their food, to pay their rents and all these sort of things. And they're lobbying the government. And then you've got all the woke multiculturals who just want to bring them in, and then Labor loves that because they end up all voting for them for some reason. They may not even understand, but their friends tell them to vote for them, so they all vote for Labor. And yeah, so immigration is the massive elephant in the room. We need a mature conversation as a nation. Obviously, it'd be great to pause it at the moment. We need to recover. Our nation needs to heal. We need to reclaim our identity, our spirit, our national pride, and then regenerate. And then maybe then in the future we can once again be a refuge for people from other countries who are desperate. But yeah, it comes to a time where you need to put yourself first. You need to protect your own home, protect your own family, protect your own people. If you've got nothing in your cup, then you can't offer anything to anyone else. And at the moment, our country, we need to be able to live affordably, provide shelter as a basic that everyone can afford comfortably and live comfortably and have that security and peace, and reduce the cost of living and look after our own people. So we need to reduce the mass immigration, shut the gates right now, and also be careful on who we're letting in. Let's just bring in people who can assimilate to our culture and who build on the great country that we've got and are a positive and a benefit. Yes, we can take some people, some refugees as well, but if we reduce the number, they'll be more able to assimilate as well. And but reducing the numbers of immigration at the moment will greatly help the housing crisis. If there's less people, all of a sudden there will be more houses. You understand? It's easy, isn't it? I'm sure those politicians understand, but it's not in their interest. They're sold out to their party rhetoric. But we know the truth. We are the media now. Let's go Aussies. Defend our Aussie culture. Have a good one.